Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr.
Toi,
a.k.a.
Donovan Jackson.
Okay, we'll leave right there.
Yeah.
Keep going, but no, we'll leave right there. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. No complaints, man. I went to go see Wicked last night. Great movie. I was kind of upset it's going to be a part 2 to it because I'm not a musical guy. So like, damn, I got to sit through another musical. But something from that movie really stood out to me, which I kind of just wanted to talk about real quick before we jump to this topic at hand. But I think I'm finding it funny on how a lot of these old Disney movies are going back and redoing the villain and showing the villain in a good light. So, prime example.
Is Wicked Disney?
Oh, I don't know if Wicked's Disney. I don't know. Okay, let me rephrase that. Okay, I can't say Disney because Wicked's probably not Disney. But it's an old classic. Okay. So they're taking all like the villains from the old classic movies and retelling their story to show that they're not actually a bad guy. So like, prime example is Cruella. The girl from the 101 Dalmatians. In the movies, we always thought, oh, she just wants to cut puppies and make a jacket. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, she has a whole new 2-hour live action movie that shows she's not really evil. You know what I'm saying? She's just misunderstood. And then another movie, Maleficent. You know what I'm saying? With Angelina Jolie. Sleeping Beauty told over. You know what I'm saying? Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty. I don't like Sleeping Beauty. She's gonna eat this apple. We're gonna try to kill her. She needs true love's first gifts. Maleficent shows, oh, it was an accident. I didn't try to kill her, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And it's like, so that's what Wicked is about. Wicked is about the Wicked Witch of the West. And they're pretty much telling her story.
So this is
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, okay.
Wizard of Oz, they're telling the story of the Wicked Witch of the West. And they're pretty much telling her story from childhood. And they're pretty much trying to show that. So pretty much the story is how do you become wicked? You know what I'm saying? And there's pretty much showing that this girl has a great heart, but life has turned her into what we saw in Wizard of Oz. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm curious on to see what's going to happen with it. But I guess I just find it funny that I find it funny that we're taking old villains and retelling their stories and not making them look like a bad guy. And then it turns out that the person that we didn't think was the bad guy, which thought was the hero, was actually the bad guy. And that's just kind of like blowing my mind to see like, is this like a message from the government trying to show that, hey, we've been lying to you, but we're not going to say it, or, you know, go back and relook history to see that the person you thought was really bad wasn't really bad. They was just misunderstood. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird gaslight in a sense.
It is, you know.
It's kind of making it like right is wrong and wrong is right now.
Low key, or is really saying, it's literally giving you the mindset of two sides to every story. Like, so what made me really think of is like the idea of, can you do this with Hitler? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel you can. I'm sure in Germany there's stories of Hitler being a hero, and America's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's a movie out there like that. I'm gonna research it now, but I'm pretty sure it's out there like that. And it's like, there really is two sides to every story, you know? Like, don't just assume that your side is right, or don't assume what story you was told was the correct one, because it's probably his true side, you know? Like, it's crazy.
But
like,
I mean, then you still also have to think of like, why is it even being retold this way? Like,
and
why?
that's what's getting me. Why is it being retold this way?
Because I mean, if the original story was this way, then
What's the
you
point?
can't count that out either.
Right.
Like, just because it's being retold in a different light. Like, I'm not saying you can't take in that side, but you can't also take in the precedence that was set about that story to begin with.
Right, exactly.
Especially when there's so many morals and values that were gained from it in a sense too.
Exactly. You know, exactly. And it's like, how... And it's like, I guess my main question is just why, though? Like, why are we going back and retelling the stories? Like the girl name was Wicked Witch of the West. Why are we trying to make her a hero now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, cool, I have no problem with it. It was a great movie, great storyline. I can't wait to see part 2. You know, too much music for me, but hey, I'm kind of musical type of guy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of like the Joker. You know what I'm saying? They're even doing it with the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's Batman's enemy. He killed Robin. He blows people up. He shoots people all the time. But let's make a movie to talk about why he's this way, and talk about he's not that crazy. He's just misunderstood and been beaten down by life. And
you know, and again, I haven't seen like Wicked or any much of like the new remakes or anything like that. But I mean, for me at least, Joker, you know, I don't think they're necessarily making an excuse for why he is the way
they're
he is.
telling his story.
But they're just telling his story of like how, like, have you ever questioned before that movie came out, why the fuck is he so crazy in this way in general?
And the problem is his story's been told. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's been told why the Joker's always been a mystery. They never know his real name. They never know who he is. They say he killed Batman's parents. He did do this. They say he was a low-life criminal. He was a doctor turned crazy. They gave him so many different storylines to why he became this way, you know? And then it's fine. Like, okay, let's just make a movie out of one of them, you know? But he has like 50 stories of how he became the Joker.
Which is
crazy.
It's like, which one do you even believe in?
You know, but okay, let me rephrase it to something we'll both suggest to then. I want to think about like Frieza. You know, what if they came out with a Dragon Ball Z series to say Frieza's not evil, he's just misunderstood? You know, it'd be like, how can I can't really take to that. Like, of course they'll make it so you have to take to it, but it'd be like, but how can I go back and watch the Namek saga and see him in this light of, oh, he's just misunderstood and he just wants to get to Dragon Balls because his mom said he won't be shit and he's trying to prove, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's kind of like people that you wouldn't think would get that storyline are now getting it for some odd reason. It's like, why?
It's like it takes away from the gravity of the universe that was already created.
It takes away from it because now it's like, can you go back and watch Beauty and the Beast and see this lady as a Maleficent we know with Angelina Jolie, or do we have to redo her movie now? Do these movies even correlate anymore? Like, is this multiverse theory?
Multiverse,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like, it's just so much, like, it's just so interesting to me. You know, I just find it really interesting that they've been doing that. And I've been seeing it a lot recently. You know, there's a lot of movies like that recently where they retell the story.
It's like it seems like there's another agenda to, like, rather than making the graphics a lot better because, you know, we have updated technology now. But like, what's the director's mindset or what's the screenwriter's mindset of why they even made it this way?
Right, exactly. And like the only answer I can give is, yes, we know a lot of people love the bad guy, so they want to give the bad guy his story, whatever. But it's like, I hate to be this guy, but it's like, man, if you don't give me a Joker movie, give me a Joker movie, a Joker being petty. You know what I'm saying? Give me a Joker movie, a Joker being a Joker, you know what I'm saying? Tricking Batman and setting up the plan and being 5 steps ahead and then getting away with it at the end.
Yeah, like, how did he even get to that point? It's like, stop giving us the perspective. Like, give us a different perspective, not a different storyline.
Yeah, don't give me a storyline. Give me a perspective. Give me a different side of the story. Let me see the evil side of it, you know what I'm saying? Like Mufasa and Scar. I'm sure it probably gives a lot about Scar's background, but I want a Scar story, you know what I'm saying? I want a story just based off of him. And let him see Mufasa in his light and let us see Mufasa being passive aggressive score Scar and pissing him off. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to see. That's just me though. Like, if I want to see a villain story, give me the true villain. Don't just make them pretty, and then make them now they're no longer a villain. Now Maleficent is no longer a villain now. You know, Wicked Witch of the West now, she's no longer the Wicked Witch. She just was given that title because they don't want her to be looked at as nice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she's no longer a wicked witch now. She's just a misunderstood witch, you know, and you know, it's kind of like whatever. I don't know either way.
No, I feel you on that one. That's an interesting topic. I feel we could
we'll come back to that. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But yeah, I just had to talk about that because that was just something on my mind recently, and I was like, why do they keep doing this? You know, like. I don't know. Like I said, if in 5 years, if you hear a movie come out saying not so Hitlerish, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna talk about how, you know, he wanted to go to art school and they talked about his art and he couldn't do art and he decided to make a club and his club decided to made an army, whatever it is, to make him look a good guy. Don't be shocked, it's coming. I wouldn't be shocked at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It looks like it's like hearing the untold story of the devil. Like, what?
Right.
Like, hold on. That's evil. That's the evil of evil. You gonna tell me you're a good guy in some way now? Like, nah, bro.
Literally incarnate. Like, this is
incarnate.
Wicked.
But nah, I didn't hear his story of how he became this way because obviously that changes everything now.
Right.
And now I don't look at him that way. Like, no, I don't know. Yeah, man. But either way, brother, thank you for joining us today. I just had to get that off my chest. It was really like bugging me last night. I was like, this is really interesting. What's up with the world?
Shoot, thanks for the perspective. Shit.
Yeah, pretty deep, right? Yeah. But cool. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual topic for today. So I know today is going to be part 2 for what we did last week. So last week, ladies and gentlemen, we talked to... Excuse me. I read a quote from the Daily Stoic, which really was discussing about, coming up with your own quotes. You know, we always quote a lot of people in the world where it comes from, you know, the Bible, quotes we hear in music, quotes we hear all over the place. But it's kind of like, the way the quote was read was, I hear what you think Confucius says, but what do you think? You know, I hear what Confucius' quote is, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. And that kind of led me to the idea of let's create our own quotes. So let's, do 2 things. One was going to be let's deconstruct a quote and recreate it for ourselves. And then 2 is going to be share a quote that we created fully from scratch from ourselves. And just to see how they turned out or, the process of doing all of that or however you felt about that. So did you want to start us off, bro?
Yeah, I can go off with my reconstructed quote.
Okay, yeah. Let's start off with your reconstructed quote. I think that would be a great one right there.
So I had kind of a hard time looking one up on Google and coming off the top of my head, but I do feel like this quote right here is a famous one. Everybody knows it, and not, I guess more people are kind of knowing about the second half of the full quote. But I want to go with curiosity killed the cat. And as people may know, curiosity killed the cat, but the second half is but satisfaction brought it back.
Oh, wow. Never heard that part.
So it's kind of like playing off of cat has 9 lives. And like, even though it may kill the cat, having its 9 lives, satisfaction brought it back. So sometimes it is kind of worth you searching for the answer that you want and actually getting it.
Right, exactly.
Though, I mean, you can take many different ideas on what, you may think about that. But I want to kind of change it into like probably exploring how it should be in today's society. And say explore into the light hidden within the maze, but be sure to have a tether back to the entrance.
Explore the light
hidden within the maze, but be sure to have a tether back to the entrance.
Okay, explain that for me.
So, kind of like the same ideology of curiosity killed the cat. It's okay to feed into your curiosities and discover what you've been searching for. But remember why you went on that search in the first place, and don't get lost by being blind to reality. And there's a couple different situations, I guess, or circumstances that make me think of this quote and how it applies today. And one is being like social media. Oftentimes we do go into the social media rabbit hole when we're just doom scrolling and things like that. And it's like, oh yeah, you want to go on here to just kind of look for some entertainment, but then how often do we get lost in like now we're just, next thing you know, we've been on here for like 2 hours.
I forgot what you was even about to do.
Yeah, you were supposed to just be on there for like 5 minutes while you waiting to get your food done, but then next thing you know, it's like 15 minutes later and you still haven't eaten just because you're so wrapped up into, you know, looking at these reels or following this story and things like that. And that's why I'll explain the other parts too. Gossip. You know, everybody always has something to say, and then sometimes the stories are juicy, but it's like, okay, well, think of why you even want to listen to this gossip in the first place, and then, you know, what's the ultimate purpose of it? Are we transitioning into just trash talking this person, or were we just trying to get some information from what was heard around to try to get a better understanding?
Right.
And lastly, like your own personal research, like. Let's say you had a question you wanted to look up on Google, and then it's sparking like a whole bunch of different questions, but oftentimes we do forget why we even started that search in the first place.
Right.
For instance, you know, just for example with music, you know, maybe I'm looking up like a tutorial on how to do something, and then next thing you know, that leads me to another tutorial, and it's like, fuck, I was supposed to be spending this hour and a half on this beat.
Yeah.
And I just need to figure out how to do one simple thing, but next thing you know, I've lost all the time that I was supposed to be spending on actually creating something. And that's why I said, be sure to have a tether back to the entrance. Don't lose your way in. Because, like, let's say you go into the maid trying to find this hidden light, this hidden treasure, and it's like, yeah, you finally got it. How the fuck do I get back out?
Right.
There's so many twists and turns and different avenues that I went to. I don't remember how I even started. And now am I even able to get out to be able to use this information or this treasure that I found in the first place?
Right.
So again, just like, remember your purpose. It's always good to go dive into your curiosities, but just remember why you went in there in the first place and how you can apply it, rather than just finding out the knowledge and then having it locked away in the back of your head for no further use.
Right. Nah, and I think that right there actually makes beautiful sense, because like you said, definitely with social media or YouTube, anything, it's an easy maze to get lost in. You'll start searching something. Definitely me, I'll start off researching how is cheese made, and next thing I know, I'm watching a guy build campfires, and then be like, what the hell, how'd I get here? You know, and then while doing the search, you might find gems, you know what I'm saying? You'll find some good quotes, you'll find some good speeches or something like that. But then you be like, but this wasn't even the goal I was going for.
Yeah.
Why am I stopping here? You know, or did I even go on the right path? So I think that right there is beautiful. It's kind of like, keep that light in front of you, you know, keep your goal right in front of you, in front of you, you know. I think that right there is beautiful right there. I think that's beautiful.
Did you have one?
Yes, I actually did have one. I did have one. So the one that I had, and I'm still trying to, I want to explain the best way I can without being an asshole, but I think that's the best way to do it. So, you know, one of my favorite quotes you always hear is, only God can judge me. You know, and everybody understands that. Only God can judge me. Your judgment is not worthy, you know, whatever. But I wanted to add to that quote, only God can judge me, but are you worth being judged? And the reason I added that part in there to it is some people over here screaming, you know, only God can judge me, but they're not doing anything impactful, you know what I'm saying, to really be judged off of, you know, like you're doing mediocre stuff, I feel. And, you know, not to say whatever you're doing is mediocre or not, because it could be big to you, but sometimes it's kind of like, you know, only God can judge me how I'm treating these hoes or something like that. And it's like, I don't think that applies to that quote though, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, only God can judge you, but are you worth being judged in this situation though? Like, you're not doing nothing good. You're not doing nothing.
It's not like you're an anti-hero. It's not like you're trying to do good, but in like a controversial way. Yeah,
exactly. You're just being controversial. Yeah. And it's like that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? You're just being bad in general, you know? And it kind of came from, the way the quote kind of came put together was listening to Napoleon Hill Outwin the Devil. And in one of the chapter, he talks about how, he was pretty much talking about how a lot of mind you, the devil's talking. He's talking about how a lot of humankind is doing his job for him. Yeah. And he's not even working, because we just doing the work for him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, the only time he really goes to work is for the people that are that are truly escaping his grasp, and he's trying to make sure they don't escape his grasp. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I guess like the way I was going with the thought was like, you know, people talk about, oh, I'm getting so much resentment, I'm getting so much pushback, you know, they're trying to stop me. But then it's like, are you sure they're trying to stop you? Because what you're doing is not about to do nothing.
Either way, yeah.
Either way, it's not doing nothing extravagant. Like, you getting pushed back to go to the club. That's probably God saying, yeah, you don't need to go to the club, but you saying, oh, I fought to get here and I'm about to turn up now. It's like, I don't think that right there was the great fight you're supposed to fight. I think it was more of a sign of, maybe I don't need to be going to this place, or maybe it's not going this way, you know?
Yeah.
So,
am I worthy of even going there?
Am I worthy even going there? Am I worthy even having this? Am I worthy of being judged by God? Am I doing anything that is actually worthy of being judged, you know? Because a lot of people, like I said, I feel like we're not doing nothing being worthy. Didn't do things to be worthy, you know? So that's kind of what I was kind of thinking of. Like, am I doing anything to be considered worthy? You know, like, would I judge myself in this situation? Would I put myself on a pedestal? Would I see myself in the light of, you know, I'm about to do something right now and I'm going to let Josh judge me and we're going to see what happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not something in that light, though, then I'm not even sure that quote really applies to us too much.
It's like, why are you being judged for a frisbee throwing competition when you're at home smoking? Or shit,
or
you know?
Or like the idea that, you know, you worried about what people are thinking about you, when it's like, you're not even worth thinking about in the general. You know, you over there, oh, only God can judge me. I ain't worried about nobody thinking. Ain't nobody thinking about you in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? You put yourself on this pedestal thinking everybody thinking about you. Like, nobody's thinking about you though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's judging you. You know, like, you're being judged off of nothing. And then I think that kind of limits to the part of like, what is worth being judged for? You know what I'm saying? The actions I put into the world, the words I say, the people I help, or the things that I do in my private life. Like, you know, what is it to actually judge, and what is it to be judged? You know? Yeah. And that's what kind of like was kind of like going on my little path a little bit. So I just been kind of like marinating on it a little bit, but that's something I've been thinking about. Like, what is it? Yes, only God can judge me, but then, am I worthy of being judged? You know what I'm saying? Am I doing anything impactful in my life to feel like I deserve to be judged? I deserve for this guy to come pull my script and say, okay, you did do good in life. You know what I'm saying? Compared to, I don't have a script. And it's, okay, give me my score, but you didn't perform. Like, I can't give you a score for something you never did.
You didn't even qualify.
Yeah, exactly. But if I'm on stage dancing and stuff, then it's like, okay, I think I did good. Only God can judge me on that. I don't care what nobody else says, you know. But if I'm not doing nothing that I feel is worthy of being judged, then what makes me think I'm being judged?
That's a deep thought. I key that kind of, in a way, that's kind of like somewhat liberating. Because it's like, well, how seriously are you taking your life, or the actions that you're doing? Right. Like, does it technically even matter that much in the first place? Like, again, like, why am I going to be judged for, you know, how I'm helping the homeless if I wasn't even helping them in the first place?
The homeless, exactly. Like, how I'm being judged for my help if I'm not helping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because then it's like, it's one thing to, you know, go all out and actually be working and feeding the homeless, and then also having it kind of be your job, you know, and like an obligation. But it's like, how well are you doing that obligation? Are you still showing care, even though that you technically wouldn't choose to be here, but you are here now? So are you actually showing empathy and care, or are you kind of still treating them like shit, but you're still technically helping the homeless because you're still handing out food?
Exactly. So like, so as you were saying that, what part of mine is flag football? Flag football, I go out there, I ref. I have people judging my reffing. You know what I'm saying? The coaches may judge it, the parents may judge it, somebody always has something to say. But when I leave there, I say only God can judge me at the end of the day. If I did a wrong call, I did a bad call, I can't do nothing about it now. I'm going to throw it up to God, let him have it. But if I wasn't there and I said, oh, I did a character drive reffing today, how? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not there. I didn't ref. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ref. Like, if I'm on... So, like, that kind of correlates to the people that are sitting under the tent. If you're just sitting under the tent and you ain't see none of the action that happened today, it's hard for you to walk off and say, oh, today was a good day with no problems. you weren't around to see the problems. The problems was way on the other side of the field that you missed, and they didn't get reported back to you, but don't mean there was no problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit here and judge there were no issues when there were plenty of issues. You just didn't recognize them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of been a little quote I was working on. I had another one as well. It was kind of based off your every L is a lesson. So it's kind of like I wanted to say every L is a lesson. Are you gonna learn it? Kind of something that simple, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like every L is a lesson. You can say all you want to, but if you don't sit back and reevaluate the lesson, you'll never learn the lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I wanted to say too. You know, every L is a lesson, but you have to evaluate. If you don't evaluate the lesson, you'll never learn that lesson. You're gonna keep getting that L until you learn the lesson. You know, lessons have to be broken in. They have to be decomposed. You have to read them. You have to eat them. You have to digest the lesson. You know, you can't just, I lost. That's a lesson, and walk off like, hold on, what's the lesson though? What you learn? You
can't have your belly full if you're just looking at the food.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat. You can't eat. You know, so I love that. I love that idea. So then I did have a outside quote sent out to us.
Oh, really?
Yes. So Miss Esdell sent a quote to us. Shout out Jessica. The quote that she shared, probably not the best quote, but it's a good quote.
Shade?
No, not shade. Just I'll read it to you. Okay, so Jess quotes that she redid was, "The truth shall set you free, but a lie will get you by." So
okay, now I see.
Pretty simple, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's self-explanatory. You know, the truth will set you free. The truth will take away all the pain. You know, you can stop doing the lies. You don't have to worry about nothing. But sometimes you ain't got time for the truth. You just want to tell a lie to get out of this place. A lie will get you by, you know? So when she said that, the first thing I can think of is going to the gas station, talk to the clerk. You could be having a terrible day. You can be having the worst day ever. And they're going to ask you, how are you doing today? You can tell the truth. Man, today fucking sucks. I hate it. Blah, blah, blah. You can rant. You can go off. And your spirit might set you free. You know what I'm saying? You might feel free after that. You might feel a little lighter. You got
it out. Yeah.
You got it out. You know what I'm saying? How much time did that take? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that with the store clerk, so I'm going to say a lie to get by. I'm good.
Right.
How about you?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm out of here because I just need to get by right now. I just need to get through here, you know?
You know, it also reminds me of, sports in a sense. Like, yeah, like sometimes you may have a bye in your schedule where you don't play that week, but eventually that shit's still going to come back to you where you still have to like deal with it, deal with the fact that you're in this tournament, this bracket or whatever season it is at the moment. Like, yeah, it'll get you by, but only the truth, which is the actual game, the match itself will set you free because now it's finally done. Yep. And then now you can actually look forward to what's going on next instead of, having a bye and being worried about the match that's coming up. So beautiful correlation to what you just said. So this secret's out. I already spread the secret. I might as well get it out now. In college, I used to, I saw a video. This is how it popped up. I saw a video of a girl. She wrote her college essay, 8-page paper. And she forgot to name the title of the paper before she turned it in. The title of the paper was, "I hate this fucking paper." And she turned that shit into the teacher with that title on it still. And then she's in the video crying because she's like, how do I submit that? I can't resubmit, whatever, right? Yeah. So that brought up something in my mind, which goes perfect with this quote. A lot of times I have a paper due. I'm procrastinating. I don't do it till the night of. So what I would do is I would send in the wrong essay on accident, quote unquote. I sent in the wrong essay, and then I'll buy myself at least about 24 more hours. So till the teacher responds saying, "Hey, Adrian, this is an essay from last month." I'm like, "Oh shit, my bad." And then I'll upload the new real
essay.
One because you had time.
Because I had time to finish it now. Yeah,
that's funny.
So the lie will get me by. The lie got me by. But until I actually sat down and did the real essay, I could never be set free. So I had to sit down and do my actual true work, you know what I'm saying, to get set free of this assignment. But the lie got me by, you know what I'm saying? And I think that right there is like, college is for sure a lot of those things. Like, the truth will set you free, but the lie will get you by, you know?
You know, and to, in a way, like, is that, in that situation, is it technically wrong because you still did right by the end? It's like, I feel like if you'd never had an intention to come back and finally do what you need to do, is it technically wrong?
Yes, because technically I missed the deadline. To my understanding, technically I missed the deadline, and I knew I was being deceitful when I sent this out. So technically it was wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because I sent out the wrong paper knowing I was sending out the wrong paper. If I did on accident, then no.
Yeah.
But if I'm aware of it, then yes. You know what I'm saying? But I always had the intention to do a true paper. I just had to buy myself some time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just did whatever I could to buy some time and not lose letter grade. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that would be. I'm trying to think of another example. Another example where school would be perfect would be ChatGPT right now. I know so many kids that are using ChatGPT to write their papers, and the lie is getting them by. But at some point, I know teachers that are having these kids present their papers, and they don't even know what they wrote. You know what I'm saying? That's when the lies, now the truth is now about to set them free, because they about to get that free F. You know what I'm saying? They about to get that free, you know, F. I think the mindset of it now I think about it, I'm about to break down her quote. The mindset is now, you know that you're holding the lie. You know that you're holding the lie, and because you know you're holding it, you're not free until you let that go. You know, whether it's good or bad, you know, salty lie, a sweet lie, whatever it is, because you know you're holding that, you don't feel free until you let go. You know, like, I want to say equivalent to like throwing a surprise birthday party. I'm lying to this person, and I know I'm lying to this person. No, we're just going to dinner. You know, we're just going to Johnny's house to go pick up a fryer, knowing I have 50 people there waiting to surprise this person to set them, you know. Once this surprise happens, you feel so light, because it's like, whew, I'm done. I don't have to, you know, whatever. Shoot, same with the kids' games. Like, the kid games are fun, but then, you know, where's the elf hiding at? I don't know. You tell me. I know where the elf is, but I have to lie to get through. But then once they all bring them in, I find that last elf. It's like, okay, cool. I'm free now. The obligation's done with.
Right.
You know, so that's how I see it, you know. The lie will get you by for that moment, but the truth is the only thing that's going to truly take that burden off your plate, you know, and go from there.
I fuck with that.
Yeah. So one last quote I have for this topic before we go to the next one is something I always say. It was always a rebuttal, actually. So people always say, my plate is full. You know what I'm saying? My plate is full. And my rebuttal will always be, God would not put anything on your plate that you could not eat. You know what I'm saying? So yes, your plate is full, but you can eat that meal. You know what I'm saying? Don't assume that's too much food for me, I can't finish it, because God wouldn't give you all that food if you know you couldn't finish it. So I kind of just throw that out there all the time to people too. Oh, my plate is full, I feel swamped, whatever. Like, he would never put anything on your plate you know you couldn't finish. You know what I'm saying? If it's on your plate, he knows you can finish it. If you know you couldn't finish it, he would have gave it to somebody else. You know, so yeah, I know your plate is full, but you'll never have anything on your plate you can't finish.
So is that like your reconstruction, or is that just the quote?
I don't know. I feel like it's a two-parter. I feel like you be both. Because technically it's a response to my plate is full. I don't know. I thought that was a good quote.
I mean, either way, it still stands.
It still stands. Right. I still made it up. Shit. I still ran with it. So, cool. So let's go to part 2. Part 2 is going to be a quote that you created yourself. And yep, I'm excited to see what you have for us.
So the quote I created for myself was, every breath serves a purpose, accidental or not. It's your breath. Own it and make use of it.
Okay.
And the idea behind this one was more so of take ownership of your participation in this life, your purposeful actions or your accidental mistakes that make up who you are. They also affect your surroundings, like how each breath you take helps the plants continue to live. Accidental or not, each breath gives carbon dioxide to the trees. Your actions not only help you grow and change, but also help others grow and change. You matter no matter what you do. Own that. And I feel like this kind of just applies to my life in general too. One thought that one like situation in my life that kind of matches this quote a lot would be like the ending of my first relationship. Wasn't the best person at that time in my life, and I could honestly say it was not intentional the way I acted and how that kind of resolved at the end of the day. But I mean, at the end, but within that, I wouldn't be the person that I am today in terms of like taking ownership of that mistake and growing from it. And that's probably what I needed to even get to, even half the point that I'm at currently today. And there's things that I've done purposefully that still have gotten me to where I am today. Like even after that, starting to do music and doing music has led me to start this podcast with you and be able to do it and engineer it on my behalf or on your behalf, and also participate within it as well. There's also many situations leading up to this point where there's been mistakes or purposeful actions that allowed me to have like the insight and the wisdom and the life experience that I have today, which I'm probably in the perfect spot that I need to be in currently. All of the people that I've talked to and all of the experiences that I've had with them and things of that nature, I don't think I'd be able to handle the people that I'm currently in cahoots with now. So whenever people feel like they're a little bit unworthy, in which I've definitely felt before, just kind of reminder that, even throughout your mistakes or your actions, like, you still matter. Without you, there would be that much less carbon dioxide to feed the trees that give oxygen back out to you and everybody else at the same time. Right. So it's just like, take ownership of the involvement that you have today, even though that you may feel like you're not really affecting much, including yourself.
Right.
So
I like that. I think that's beautiful. I think that's really beautiful. And I love how you just related it back to your own life. You know what I'm saying? And you really just took your own experience and made your own quote out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that right there is really beautiful, bro.
Yeah. Because these are also thoughts when I was like listening to the episode last week. Shit, did it just leave? Fuck. Oh no. I think I just kind of wanted to speak on like why I agree with the Daily Stoic excerpt that you spoke of. Just why do we constantly always look to others, like quotes and things like that, to reference into speaking about how we should live our life instead of taking the lessons that we've learned by living our life in the first place.
Right.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't, take heed of people's old people's wisdoms and things like that, but at the same time, like, if you just follow that to a T, like, are you really you at the end of the day? Like, in the sense of like with music, like, I know early on when I started, I was kind of looking up how to make beats like this producer and things like that. But it's like, okay, well, am I trying to be that producer, or am I trying to make my own wave and build my own legacy and like my own unique vibe?
Right.
And I feel that's where, like, those people before never got to where they are if they were just trying to follow in somebody else's footsteps. So why don't you make your own path and have people take inspiration from you, not necessarily follow you? Right. That's why I never really align with the idea of popularity. Like, I'd just rather be known that I took this path rather than people trying to follow in my wave. Right. It's not, my wave's not meant for you. You're gonna need way bigger surfboards, as I use another person's quote. But you're gonna need way bigger surfboards for that. Find your own right surfboard and ride your own wave to make a path for yourself. And like, shoot, even taking it to like video games, it's like, yeah, you can study up on how this person moves and kind of like take inspiration from that, but like, how do you play? You can only figure out how you play. You don't have those person's life experiences and their thought process to figure out how to play the game. Like, figure out what you do, and then how do you adapt to what's around you so you can create your own game plan. And then at that point, you know, let's say somebody's studying up on that person. Well, now because they studied that person, they know how to beat you. Why not just have your own unique style and make people figure you out?
Right.
You know?
Right. No, and I think that right there is beautiful. Like you said, your own unique style, and that's something that it's kind of funny because you kind of led to my quote while I was going with it a little bit. But, you know, jump off of what you said. As you were saying that, one of my favorite quotes in the world about uniqueness is Jay-Z's, "I came to a fork in the road and went straight." You know what I'm saying? I was so left to right, and I went straight through the grass. So it's like, I always love that quote, and that's what makes you think of like that. You know, you ride your own surfboard. You can't, don't worry about my wave, ride your own wave.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's beautiful. So, so for this part was really hard for me because I read too many books, I listen to too many quotes, I've quoted too many people, I've memorized too many quotes by heart, I feel. And it's kind of like some of them are to the point where I don't know if I made them up or if I heard them so long ago because I haven't heard them again. And it's just all over the place. So the one quote that I did find in my phone that I did create a long time ago is going to be like the wind, just blow. Some people will not move like trees, but are cheering you on like leaves. And you know, I kind of came up with that quote a while ago as I was like watching trees, and I always, coming from what's that book called we always read, The Alchemist. He talks about, I think I want to say something, The Alchemist, or one of these books I read, they always talk about how water is just water. Water does what water does, you know what I'm saying? A rock does what a rock does. A dog does what a dog does. We always trying to be other people though, you know? So it's like, just be yourself, be the wind, you know what I'm saying? Over my lifetime, I feel like there's a lot of times where I've shared stuff or I've started to do stuff, and I feel like people don't care, you know? They don't move, you know? I don't feel, I'm the middle child, so I have this middle child scarring that I can't even say it's scarring, it's true middle child treatment, where it's like, I have to fight a little more harder to feel the love that I'm looking for, if that makes sense. And because of that, I had to finally learn to, you know what, just do what you do. Some people may never come to your side or even do whatever, but they'll see what you're doing and they're going to be curious of it. So they're still going to wave, you know what I'm saying? They're still going to be like the trees and wave your way and send you positive love. But you just keep blowing. Go through them trees. Don't let them trees stop you. Like if the wind ran to a tree and said, oh, this tree ain't bending over, I'm going to stop. We want to have wind. Because, you know, there's so many trees like that. But the wind doesn't say, I don't care if it's a forest in front of me or it's a twig in front of me, I'm going to blow. Whether I'm going to blow 50 miles per hour or 100 miles per hour, I'm going to blow, and I'm going to, wherever's in my way, you can go with me or you can stand there, but either way, I'm still going. And that's kind of been like the mindset I've been having for a lot of life recently, where it's like, I love you, I want you to get there, but I can't carry you with me. I can't keep dragging you along. You know what they say, grab a stick and grab Johnny. Grab a stick, grab Johnny. At some point, you're going to just knock out Johnny and drag him, you know, because you're tired of dragging Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at some point, I had to get to the point like, man, just be the wind, and I'll blow through. The trees may move with me, they may not, but at the end of the day, I just have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. It's hard to always want support and not getting it. And like I said, if I'm a middle child, it doesn't just fall in my lap like it does for other people. You know, so it's like I have to really work for it.
I like that leave part, the leaf part, where it kind of blows with you sometimes to support you.
Yeah, it blows with you.
It made me think of like a dandelion, because like those quote unquote leaves itself are seeds that blow in the wind, at some point
start setting other seeds.
They land and they grow their own plant, and you can see the people in your life that blow with you for a bit and then they stop off.
They land in their own spot?
Yeah, they land in their own spot, and that's where they're staying. And it's like, well, you know, I appreciate you for the time that you've flown with me, but I mean, if that's your decision, and sometimes it's not even a decision that's made, sometimes that's just life. And hey, well, I'll remember you as I flow through my way.
I keep flowing though.
But you can stay there. I'm gonna still keep flowing. I got to. Yeah.
You know, and that's what it is at the end of the day. Like, you hear me say all the time, show must go on.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, coach, your player ain't here yet. The game got to start. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't here, he better jump in when he get in. But we'll figure out what we got to do. But we got to keep going, though. We can't keep stopping it. So,
right.
You know, so yeah, you know, with your paths, anybody's paths out there, you know, I understand. You have people you want to go along with you. You have people that want to travel with, you want to travel with you. You have people that you want to see you do something big. But, you know, you might have to let that go and be like, even this person never sees me do it big, I'm still going to do it big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say stuff like this, but it's reality now. You know, grandma and them are up in age, and there's always, like, dreams I wish I could do. Definitely with them. Like, I always wish I could do a family-sized cruise where we get grandma and granddad on a damn cruise boat. You know, I can't see them doing. They probably wouldn't want to go anyway, but I want the option to do it. But it's like, I thought I was gonna be rich and a millionaire by now, so you know, now I gotta dream up my, you know, switch up my dreams a little bit. But either way, though, I'm still gonna go. You know, so yeah, that was kind of the quote I came up with. And then I did have a quote that Miss Simon from West Prep, shout out West Prep, sent us.
Shout out.
Yes, her quote. It's a funny ass quote, and it's so funny because the first time I heard it, I just bust into tears laughing. But then after I think about it, I'm like, it's pretty deep though. It's pretty deep. It's so simple though. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, it sounds like goofy, like that's just, you just making up words, putting words together. But then when you actually think about it, it's like, yeah, wherever you decide to go, you're there. You know what I'm saying? There you are is wherever you decide to go. So it's like, enjoy where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know where you want to go because you're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to the theme park if you're scared of roller coasters, don't like roller coasters. You know what I'm saying? Don't go there because you're going to be there. And once you're there, you're stuck there. You know what I'm saying? You got to enjoy it, you know? If you're going to work, be at work. You know what I'm saying? Go to work and be at work. Don't go to work and be at home in your mind still and still fighting over the argument from last night. Like, be there. You know what I'm saying? Because you're here. And it's kind of like just, like for me, it's kind of like she was saying, like, be present. You know what I'm saying? Be present in the moment where you're at. You know what I'm saying? What would it look like if I'm in the movies watching a movie and, oh shit, I saw last night. I was laughing. I couldn't believe that shit. We in the movies watching the movies. This nigga on a FaceTime call 2 people down. And I'm like, this nigga on FaceTime?
For what?
I don't know. But he on FaceTime. And I'm saying, like it was only 3 minutes, but it was like, why are you on FaceTime when the movies, bro? Like, be at the movie. You know what I'm saying? You on FaceTime, you supposed to text this person back, hey, I'm at the movies, I'll call you back. You know what I'm saying? Don't be over there, be here. You know what I'm saying? Be where you are. So, yeah.
It also, that quote also reminds me of, at my last job, I think this is when I was like saying it is, well, I still kind of say it a lot, but like, it is what it is. And then my coworker was like, and it isn't what it isn't.
It's not what it's not.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, that's fucking fair. Yeah. I'm like, I had to write that on a sticky note. I was like, it is what it is and it isn't what it isn't. Just take it for what it is and move the fuck on. Yeah. Exactly.
So, no, and I agree with that, bro. And I think, I think that right there is a great note. It isn't what it isn't. It is what it is and it ain't what it ain't.
Yeah, stop trying to make shit up.
Stop trying to make shit up and make it is what it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, we not in love. Stop playing. Like, yeah. You know? Stop making this what it's not. So, I think that right there is beautiful. So, my last question for you, and I just want your mindset on it, is in the Stoic book, it said that a man should not die. Please note, I'm quoting this. I'm paraphrasing. There we go. But pretty much it was saying that a man should not die without sharing his knowledge first. You know, a man should not die without sharing his notebook first. Do you agree with that? Yay or nay? I have a hit and miss between it, and it kind of made me think like I need to start carrying 2 notebooks now. So I can have one notebook for true thoughts, true feelings, myself, only for my eyes, and then have the notebook for when I die, this is the one that the kids are going to pull out and be like, oh my God, this is my uncle's greatest work type deal. But on top of that, though, I'm thinking too, can you truly understand where I'll be coming from if you don't see the personal side as well. Because a lot of these great autobiographies is when they got the person's journal and they got to see what the person was thinking during this time.
Yeah.
You know? So that was something I was thinking of as well. I do believe that, yes, we all need to come up with our own wisdom and drop our wisdom, definitely for our you know, our families, legacies, stuff like that. You know, like I said, my dad, if my dad disappeared today, like, I'll for sure have his quote of, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You know what I'm saying? So knock it out now. Like, that's in my blood, and that's not going nowhere. You know, and I have, you know, I feel like there's so many quotes that you should possibly share with life, you know. But then it makes me think too, like, how many quotes he hasn't shared with us.
Yeah, does he even know that's a quote for himself?
Probably don't.
Yeah,
Probably don't.
I feel like that's true, and I feel like it's also done without us necessarily realizing it. I mean, just think about how many situations you've been in where it's like, you know, a circumstance with, I guess, another person or like a younger generation happens where it reminds you of a situation that you went through, and you may not necessarily, like, kind of like what Kenny was talking about. Like, I'm gonna paraphrase the hell out of it because you don't need to know the deep information about it, but the principle of the situation still stands. And you just share it. And I feel like, in a sense, that's like a mental, verbal notebook that you're sharing with whoever it is. And I feel like your personal thoughts and true feelings and things like that should also be shared, but that's up to your discernment on who gets to see that part. But the lessons that are drawn from those experiences will kind of naturally just show themselves, and they shouldn't die without being known somewhere out in the world. So it also kind of just makes me think about how kind of sad it is for some people in this earth to kind of pass away with probably not having any of that shared.
Yeah, no, so, and that right there is like one of the biggest things that always gets to me is they always say that the best invention, the best inventor, the number one athlete, the world's best president, world ruler is 6 feet under right now because they never reach their potential. You know what I'm saying? The best wisdom. They say the richest place in the world is the graveyard because that's when a whole bunch of ideas went and truly died and never came back and never got the opportunity to truly shine. And I feel like that with a lot of wisdom. You know, there's probably a lot of wisdom out there from people that they say they passed away, family members that, damn, I never knew my Uncle Curtis really meant by that line. He always said it, but I never knew what he meant by it. And, you know, it may never truly click, you know, and it's like, yeah, that's some things like, we want to get that out now, you know, and that's kind of probably the reason I do the podcast. You know, when I die, I got my voice for 200-something episodes. Right.
More than that. Shit.
More than that, yeah, exactly. So y'all know my thoughts, my feelings to a point at least. So yeah. So is there a quote you would like to leave with today?
Nah.
I got one actually. I got a great one. So my favorite one is from John Maxwell, and I think this right here is what made this episode so hard for me because when he said it, I just absorbed it. You probably know what it is already.
I just had thought of one, but go ahead.
Okay. We'll have you share yours too then. So the John Maxwell one is a lot of times when we go to quoting people, it starts off as you know, Confucius says this. And then once you get used to it and you start to say it more, you start to go to someone once said this. And then once you start to use that quote so much that you can't even remember when you start using it, you start going to the line of the other day I was thinking. And then you start dropping the quotes like it's your quotes. So it's kind of like the mindset of I want to end this with a quote. I want to end the quote with a quote. I want this story with a quote. The quote is, valuable ideas, gold will always be gold. Valuable ideas will travel for life. Powerful lessons will never leave. But I like the idea of gold will always be gold. You know, whether you claim it, whether I claim it, whether 20,000 years in the future claims it, it's still gonna be gold. You know, so gold is gonna be gold. You know, gold is gold. Wisdom is wisdom. You can't take it, you can't shake it, you can't do nothing about it.
That is concrete.
Yep.
Eternal.
I'm gonna leave that. Gold is gonna be gold.
Got this quote from somebody recently, and the quote is, "Fuck the audience." That's it.
Yeah.
Fuck the audience. Like, who gives a damn? Like, do what you want, create what you want.
Go ahead and do your performance.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, to kind of edit it, and I feel like this second half also applies to many things, and just be prepared for the consequences that come afterwards. But fuck the audience. Just do.
Yeah, just do. And it's so funny. Where'd you hear that from?
Friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason I laughed at that is because I was watching the Rhythm and Flow show recently, and literally they had an episode where the guy, you know, he did his performance and stuff, and then he literally says like, "Yeah, man, I hate to say this, but I literally had to say fuck the audience." And Ludacris stood up like, "Hell yeah, fuck them." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you performing for them, they paying your bills, but at the end of the day, you performing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to stay true to yourself and do your music and vibe to your style. Because if you trying to please them, you're gonna be mad at yourself. You got to please yourself first.
And it's like, I mean, if you're a part of the audience that kind of gets upset about that, then it's like, realize them saying fuck the audience is the reason why you even like them in the first place. That's the reason why they're able to do what they're able to do. So fuck the audience.
Fuck the audience. Yeah, do your performance, bro.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Do you, baby.
Do your dance.
Do you, boo boo? Cause I'ma do me. Yeah. But yeah, bro. Any still swimming tools when it comes on to this? My only thing would just be I'm gonna start writing down more wisdom. That's all. I'm really gonna probably do that for my new year. I'm gonna find me a book, and I'm gonna have me a notebook. And I would say a Google Doc or something, but I feel like Google doesn't just hold value like that. So I'm gonna actually find me a notebook, and I'm gonna try to write one quote in there every day, whether it's me making it up or I heard it or whatever. So that's my goal for 2025. Write me a quote every day.
Just get back into music, and then also poetry more too, because shit's live. So like, I need to document how I'm feeling in some way, and the best way to say my feelings without necessarily saying my feelings is poetry. It's not like it's not how I feel, but it's just portrayed in a way that
you vibe to it.
Yeah, I vibe to it, and then also other people can take their own interpretations from it.
Right, go from there. Yeah, I think that's beautiful, bro. I think that'd be dope. I'm gonna try to get some poetry too. Yeah, I wrote a song. No, I ain't lying.
Cap, no.
Yeah, hella cap. Yes, man. But yeah, bro, I think that was a great episode for sure. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have next 2 weeks, we're gonna have another topic for you guys. Hopefully have another special guest for you guys, so please keep out. You know, if you guys didn't hear your idea shared, please send it over so we can, you know, post it, go from there. You already know how to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you guys. If you have an episode idea that you want us to do a 2-parter on, let us know. We'll take the idea, we'll run with it and make it happen for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But with all that being said, hope you guys have a great new year to come. Please be safe that night. If you're listening to this before New Year's Eve, please be safe, turn up, have a great beginning of the new year. Yes, have fun. Thank you 1-3 again for everything you guys do.
Of course.
Yes, hope you guys have a great day, marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.
Hey, yo.